And now let's look at Stanford's PFF grades. And Stanford's been kind of decent at run defense, and that's another reason why I'm a little hesitant to take the 17 and a half points. You got them at home, and the one thing Stanford can do well is play some run defense, but they're a very bad pass blocking unit. And so I think maybe Florida State could have the edge. They're definitely the most favorable matchup in the last 4 weeks they're going to see in that department. So maybe some of their pass rushers can, potentially get back on track, get in line, and they can create a little bit of havoc back there. But overall, the Stanford team has just not been very good this year. When passing the football, they're 116th in EPA per play, 117th in success rate. Running the football, they're a little bit better, 55th in EPA per play, but still 116th in success rate. But I think Florida State on that side of the ball when it comes to Stanford running, I think Florida State potentially hold their own there. If not, maybe outright win that matchup. And I think Florida State, other than Virginia game, they've actually been kind of solid against the run. It's just been, I don't know what their defense is doing down the field. They just got receivers running wide open in the passing game. But Stanford can't really pass the football, no way. So I think maybe this might be the one matchup that Florida State needs to get out of the funk. And against the pass, Stanford is 101st in EPA per play, 110th in success rate. Definitely Florida State. They can hit some explosive. That's kind of what they do. They run the football, and then when they throw it, they can gash you for big yardage at a time. And against the run, like I said, this is where Stanford has really stood out. 53rd in EPA per play, 80th in success rate is not great, but as you can see, I'm just not in love with that matchup. I think Stanford, I could see them at home in a scenario where they can stifle Florida State's rushing attack, maybe just enough to, be able to cover under that number. And then we're looking at Stanford's offensive line. And like I said, I'm going to show you where they grade out because I do think Florida State has a potential edge here. And in the run blocking grades, you can see their two highest players are that play the most snaps grade at 60.9, 61 with Fisher Anderson and Nick Prongos. And as a pass blocking unit, they're slightly better, not that much better, but slightly. With Fisher Anderson still 75.8, then Nicky Prongos 69.7. But nobody else has been super great on the line. They do have Sam Rouse, the tight end, that's been great in pass blocking. But certainly a matchup I think Florida State can, should be able to take advantage of if they're going to do anything. And then Stanford's pass rush, you do have Clay Patterson, who has 14 total pressures on the year,